one down. They are coached by Ben Candelino. In his second year, Elizabeth last won a state championship in 1954, and they are matched against the traditional powers in the state of New Jersey, the Camden Panthers, 24-5. Clarence Turner in his 14th year. Camden, the only team in the tournament with the opportunity to repeat as state champions. We are live at the Meadowlands Arena. Hello once again. I am Bill Perry. Alongside is Dick Lloyd. This the 8th and final game over the 2 days of high school championship basketball here at the Meadowlands. We are live, and this is the big one, the dream matchup. Group 4 boys. Elizabeth ranked in many polls as the #1 team in the state. Camden with all that tradition, and the place, you can feel it. You can feel the intensity.
You can really feel it in the crowd. They've been waiting for this one all day. An awful lot of tradition coming in here with Camden. Defending champs, as you mentioned, they've won the Group 4 title 7 times, won Group 3 1 time. Elizabeth is worried about that, playing against the ghosts of Camden past, but they're going to press right away. Elizabeth will. Camden is also going to press. That means an up-tempo ball game.
32 minutes of up and down. We mentioned Ben Candelino, the coach of the Minutemen. His kid brother, Anthony Candelino, number 15, the glue for Elizabeth. And when you talk about Camden, you have to highlight Lewis Banks, the 6'7 junior, their leading scorer. Candelino is a 6'1 junior. Senior.
Candelino gets 13 points per game, but as you mentioned, his value really as a floor general, maybe it has something to do with being the brother of the coach. You have Lewis Banks. He's also a tough player, probably the best junior in the state. Clarence Turner thinks he could be the best to ever play basketball at Camden, and that's saying something. He hits the jumper, he goes to the hole. Two exciting players for us to watch.
Banks averaging just under 20 points per game. We are set to bring it to you. This is the one we have been waiting for. I know you've been waiting for it, and we're just about set to bring it to you. Boys, Group 4 will be back to meet the starting lineups right after these words. The Minutemen from Elizabeth with a record of 25-1. The Panthers from Camden, 24-5. Something to look for early in this ball game. Elizabeth will not start Derrick McGhee, their leading scorer, averages just under 17 points per game. McGhee will come off the bench. He has been bothered with a knee problem, slight ligament damage. He will play with a heavily wrapped left knee and a right knee brace as well. Look for Derrick McGhee to come off of Ben Candelino's bench. Let's pick up public address announcer Dom Alasia for the introduction of the starting lineups. It's Camden and Elizabeth.
Forward for Camden, 6'6 senior, number 41, Kenny Smith. Starting at forward for Elizabeth, 6'1 senior, number 23, Shelton Applewhite. At the other forward for Camden, 6'7 junior, number 51, Lewis Banks. For Elizabeth at forward, 6'3 senior, number 25, Mike Brennan. At center for Camden, 6'5 junior, number 33, Leonard Moody. For Elizabeth at center, 6'6 junior, number 22, Chris Gatling. At guard for Camden, 6'2 senior, number 11, Tyrone Gilliams. For Elizabeth at guard, 6'1 senior, number 15, Anthony Candelino. At the other guard for Camden, 6'2 junior, number 21, Donnie Walker. For Elizabeth at guard, 6'3 senior, number 20, Mike Goodson. The coach for Camden, Clarence Turner, and the coach of Elizabeth, Ben Candelino. The officials, Joe Vigna and Bob Pugh, and the alternate is Bob Lilly.
Right off the top, let's take note that Lewis Banks will wear number 25 tonight. Lewis Banks, the high scorer for Camden. We had him listed and told you on our open he wears number 51. And he was identified as wearing number 51, but Lewis Banks will wear number 25. Clarence Turner, in his 14 years as coach at Camden, this is 14th season. He is looking for his 6th state championship. Camden looking for their 3rd title in the last 4 years. The school looking for their 9th championship. They are in their 13th championship game. There's all that tradition. Clarence Turner and Elizabeth Ben Candelino in just his 2nd year. His overall record very impressive at 48-4. So here we go. The Minutemen coming out onto the floor will be in the white jerseys. Camden in the purple and gold.
That tradition of Camden's could be one of the reasons Ben Candelino wants to come out and press right away to assert some authority, give his kids some confidence.
Leonard Moody and Chris Gatling will jump, and Moody controls it to number 25, Lewis Banks. He'll give it up to Donnie Walker. Walker calls the set play. High post, it is Banks. Banks goes back out for Walker. Here's Banks. Hesitated in the air, altered the shot. Gatling with the pressure. We have a whistle, no basket. And the foul's going to go against Lewis Banks.
Chris Gatling did a nice job that time. As you mentioned, Banks had to alter that shot because Gatling was right in his face.
Here's the pressure applied by Camden. Tyrone Gilliams will guard the man throwing the ball in bounds, Shelton Applewhite. Up ahead to Mike Goodson, number 20. Goodson penetrates, goes nicely, but the shot is blocked for the foul. Gatling had it blocked, and the foul is going to be against number 41, Kenny Smith. 2 quick fouls against Camden in 24 seconds. A look at Ben Candelino.
And he has to be pleased with the way they tackled that press right off. They got the ball to the middle. That created a 3-on-2 situation right away.
Chris Gatling, 6'6" junior, southpaw, 52% free throw shooter. Breaks the seal. It is 1-0 Elizabeth. Elizabeth with the pressure. Candelino going for the steal, knocks it out of bounds.
Both teams pressing right away. Elizabeth going with that trap and then trying to get that steal. Almost got it.
Tyrone Gilliams and Donnie Walker in the backcourt for the Panthers. Goodson plays Walker. Goodson all over him. Gilliams goes back out to Walker. Walker with the high dribble. He'll fire. Line drive jump, air ball on the follow. Lewis Banks count the basket plus the foul. I believe it's going to be on Applewhite. So Lewis Banks averaging just a shade under 20 points per game. Foul was indeed on Applewhite, and Banks will try to make it 3-1 Camden. Just underway, boys Group 4 championship. Candelino. Applewhite. Here's Goodson in the middle to help out against the pressure. Got the 3-on-1. Goes to Brennan. It is rejected by Kenny Smith. And Donnie Walker races against Applewhite. Banks. That'll be short. Candelino with the rebound. Got Goodson ahead. Candelino surveys. Hesitates at the foul line. Now goes to Goodson. His head fake, and he traveled. The walk on Mike Goodson.
Camden done a great job of intimidating so far. They've had a couple, Elizabeth, a couple break opportunities. Big man back there doing a great job. Kenny Smith.
Mike Goodson will pick up Donnie Walker mid-court.
Bill Ben Candelino said when we were talking to him beforehand, we got to do a job on the boards. We cannot allow Camden to dominate the boards, and they've done it. Camden has done that thus far.
Quick hands, Goodson knocked it away from Tyrone Gilliams. Play it the same way. 1:35 in, 3-1 Camden on the three-point play by Lewis Banks. Trigger man is Gilliams. Lobs inside for Leonard Moody, knocked away and loose, and the foul call is going to go against Anthony Candelino. First on Candelino. Team fouls now even at 2 apiece. And Donnie Walker. Kenny Smith high post. Wheels inside over Brennan. It won't go. Goodson at 6'3", rebounding guard. Up ahead for Mike Brennan. Little far, will have to hurry. and he was not able to save it. Williams, Candelino plays him. You have Goodson on Walker. Inside, Kenny Smith, played by Mike Brennan. Walker in the paint. Line drive jump is off. Team's a little tight. Gatling's rebound. Goodson, here's Candelino. Smith back defensively. And a foul. Second foul on Kenny Smith. Candelino, good free throw shooter, will go to the line and shoot 2.
And Candelino used his body well that time because Smith is really intimidating down there, stopping those breaks by Elizabeth. But he was able to use his body, protect that ball, and draw the foul. Used his left hand.
Anthony shoots free throws at 68%. Outstanding baseball player, center fielder. Will concentrate on baseball. University of Miami, LSU, Mississippi State, all interested in Candelino as a baseball player.
Looking at the matchups down the other end, Ben Candelino has Applewhite, the substitute, who really is starting because of the injury to Derrick McGhee. Probably their best defensive player is playing Lewis Banks down there. Mike Brennan on Ken Smith.
So it is 3-2, and here's Banks. Candelino back defensively, and will they give him the continuation? They will, and that's 2 fouls on Anthony Candelino, and once again, Lewis Banks has the three-point play opportunity. So here's Banks, and he did get armed.
He doesn't think so, but it's right here. We pull him over and let him watch it. But the difference between the 2 breaks here, Candelino, much smaller player down there trying to defend against the break. Smith, for Camden, the bigger player at 6'6", has been down the other end, doing a much better job.
Rolls off for Banks. Moody follows inside, loose. Little Tyrone Williams has it blocked. Chris Gatling coming away and goes to Shelton Applewhite, and he gives to Mike Goodson, the 6'3" senior guard. Goodson headed to Pitt in the Big East on a basketball grant. Candelino thought about firing, decided to pull it back out. 5-2 Camden. 5:10 left first quarter. Mike Brennan and Goodson. Brennan. Banks shutting out the baseline.
Camden in a 2-3 zone. Elizabeth being patient with it, trying to find the opening.
Candelino does pull the trigger. He's long with the jumper. And Lewis Banks with the strong rebound. Donnie Walker up ahead for Leonard Moody. His pull-up. Leonard Moody's first basket. It is 7-2. Ben Candelino wants to talk it over. It may be Derrick McGhee time. Again, Elizabeth playing without their leading scorer. It is 7-2 Camden. 4:31 left first quarter. Elizabeth, their 2 points on free throws, one by Gatling and one by Candelino. They have yet to score a field goal.
One shot at the basket.
Good pass. He's going in very strong on that. Leonard Moody, and Clarence Turner said beforehand that he was going to be a key player for him. He's a senior. A junior, I stand corrected.
You don't want to get the basketball. You get cut from the foul line to cover and get underneath the basket. You guys relax and think out here. Run it offense. If they go 3-2, out of that. 3-2, forward low. Let's see if they do that. Come on. Hey, let's go. Run it. Go. 1, 2, 3, defense.
Ben Candelino concerned about being able to run with Camden. He told me that with Derrick McGhee in there, he felt he could run with Camden. With Derrick not at full strength, a little concerned about whether he can keep up with Camden.
Well, Derrick McGhee has checked into the ball game. 6'2" senior wears number 11. He replaces Shelton Applewhite. McGhee averages 16.7 points per game. This is Mike Brennan. It is blocked cleanly by Lewis Banks. And taking the loose ball off the floor is Donnie Walker. Williams, line drive jump. Tyrone Gilliams, his first points. It is 9-2 Camden. 4:09 left first quarter. Candelino to Goodson. McGhee in the right corner. They went the other way to Gatling, and it's a turnover. Gilliams from Moody won't go over the top. The foul's going to be against Kenny Smith, and that will be 3, I believe, on Kenny Smith.
Charge to Kenny Smith. His second and team fourth.
Just the second on Kenny Smith. Team's 4th foul. Pressure and kicking the ball, Donnie Walker. Right in front of us, Derrick McGhee will inbound. He only has the left knee wrapped tonight. That's the knee that has been bothering him.
Replaces Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith goes to the Camden bench.
Sean Mosby is substituting in there for him. He's 6'7", gives him good size again. Derrick McGhee at 6'2", putting it right in Sean Mosby's face at 6'7".
His first personal foul. 15.
Nice fake and step around, use the glass well.
So the foul will be on Mosby, number 55. Lewis Banks. He has 7. Here comes Camden off the turnover. Donnie Walker. Gilliams penetrates, loses it. McGhee the other way. Pass was too hard and too far ahead for Mike Goodson.
Elizabeth just having trouble getting it going, and as the coach was quoted as saying after the Ferris game, you see, we learned a lot. We can't come out flat against good teams. They had to come from 16 down to beat Ferris in that semifinal. 45-44.
Applewhite has replaced Mike Brennan for Elizabeth. Nice pass inside. Leonard Moody's shot would not fall, but Tyrone Gilliams with a nice feed.
And I'll tell you who's been the big key here is this Chris Gatling, only a junior at 6'6". Some people say he has potential for Division I, and he's done the job on that defensive board.
Mike Goodson. And Anthony Candelino. This is Derrick McGhee. Candelino, deep corner jump. He's got it. His first field goal, he has 3. It's 11-6. Elizabeth starting to settle down.
Going to have to look for those outside shots against that zone. Camden has so much size in there. Lewis Banks is out there in the point at 6'3".
Kenny Smith. Pass went off his hands. Mosby was right there, but now he loses it. McGhee took it away. McGhee running. Goes to Goodson, and he traveled outside. That's the call. Number 33, Leonard Moody, reporting back for Camden. And Sean Mosby, number 55, goes to the bench.
So I'm not sure whether Elizabeth has been able to convert any of those breaks yet. They're looking to run, they're getting it down, but they just haven't been able to convert.
Banks, long pass inside, and the block by Applewhite on Smith. Smith took it up again, and the foul call against Mike Goodson. But Gatling, number 22, with the clean block initially, then it was Goodson with the foul.
Kenny Smith does a nice job inside. He's really tough. He got that first one blocked, did not hesitate, got the ball back, went up very strong. He gets great position inside.
Shooting foul, Dick, and we're still with 1:41 to go in the first quarter. Each subsequent foul, both teams are in now the bonus situation. 1+1 time, so we'll see a lot of free throws in this first half. There was a shooting situation there, so the miss, but he will get another one, Kenny Smith. George Washington recruiting Kenny Smith out of Camden High, averages 14 points per game and 12 rebounds. 1 of 2 for Smith, 6'6" senior. 12-6 Camden. Derrick McGhee, who's headed to Virginia Commonwealth on a basketball grant. Mike Goodson, again, he will be going to Pitt. Candelino. Goodson. McGhee. Gatling will try, wide open from 15. Rebound, Lewis Banks. Outlet, Tyrone Gilliam. Bounce pass through traffic, out of bounds. He was looking for Leonard Moody. Not a good idea.
No, just a little bit long. They are trying to run, but that was forcing that one. That's a long bounce pass.
Victor Karstoffen is waiting to check in for Camden, number 23. Gatling inside his ball away, and Banks, he has a bunch of rebounds in this first quarter. 58 seconds left. Quarter number 1. Williams outside, goes inside for Kenny Smith. Good quick hands by Derrick McGhee to steal. Candelino back defensively is Tyrone Gilliam, and it's a block. And that's a big call because Candelino playing with 2 personal fouls. The field goal went, and yes, it counts.
We said Candelino plays with intensity. McGhee does a great job with quick hands popping it loose, good outlet pass, makes up his mind he's going straight through. That was a good call. The defense was not set.
First on Tyrone Gilliams. Candelino completes the 3-point play. Curtis Jones, number 21, reporting in for Ben Candelino. And Anthony Candelino will sit down with 42 seconds left in the first quarter after making the 3-point play. It is 12-9. He was very close to picking up that 3rd foul, and big brother Ben probably wants to tell him about it. Donnie Walker. Victor Karstoffen, 23, 5'9" freshman. He's a player with a big future at Camden. Instant offense type guy off the bench. Walker, long jump. And the rebound to Applewhite. And here comes McGhee. And close to within 1 at final shot time, first quarter. It is short. Gatling with 3 seconds. No good. Gatling again. No. The red light is on. Basket would not have counted. It is 12-9 after 1. Camden with the lead over Elizabeth. Elizabeth led 1-0, and Camden has maintained the lead since that juncture, led by as many as 7 in this first quarter on 2 occasions. Now they lead it by 3. Bill Perry and Dick Lloyd back after this. Back live at the Meadowlands. The tip, the loose ball. You missed 3 seconds. And it's Elizabeth with the basketball. And again, the opportunity to get to 1 down. McGhee took a walk. The pass inside from Candelino, who has checked back in at the top of this second quarter.
Looks like Elizabeth wants to attack that zone from behind down there in that weak spot. They got it down there, but then McGhee walked.
Williams played by Candelino.
Matchup now has McGhee on Banks.
Donnie Walker, played by Goodson, goes down low. Banks with a nice jump pass for Kenny Smith, who is open down low, and the foul call. Mike Brennan's going to come back in for the Minutemen.
Elizabeth foul by Curtis Jones, his
First foul on Curtis Jones. Everything is 1-1 for the duration of the first half. Chris Gatling goes to the bench.
Nice
jump
pass, yes. Smith strong inside. He plays around those blocks side to side. When he gets it, he's pretty tough to stop. It'll be interesting now with Chris Gatling out and sitting on the bench, what that's going to do to the rebounding for Elizabeth.
(13-9). 1 of 2 for Kenny Smith. Candelino for Goodson. McGhee outside. Brennan. Turn around off glass, little strong from Curtis Jones. We're 1 minute into the second quarter. Donnie Walker. Open is Tyrone Gilliam. Straightaway jump. Brennan with the good position and the rebound for the Minutemen. Goodson up ahead for McGhee. McGhee moving around Banks. A lot of contact, no call. Here's Candelino inside. Ball loose. Here's Banks. Banks has Moody. It's Banks, coast to coast. He has 9.
Banks done a good job there. Mike Goodson tried to step in and draw the charge. Didn't get in. Banks too quick. Went right around him.
4-point play. Candelino missed the layup. Banks took off the rebound and went coast to coast. Elizabeth had a couple of opportunities, had it inside, and here is Mike Goodson from deep. His first field goal, his first points, 15-11.
And that's what Elizabeth is going to have to do, hit from the outside. A little tough to go inside against that zone of Camden's. They've got great size in there with Banks and Smith.
Banks outside again, the quick hands, and Derrick McGhee cannot believe it. And it looked to me, and he was right in front of us, as if he did have a lot of ball. And as you see at the free throw line, Derrick said to Lewis Banks, "I didn't touch you, right? Let's take a look." Ooh.
Lewis Banks.
Quick hands, tough to tell. We have a little different angle perhaps than the official did.
First foul on Derrick McGhee. Banks has 9 points already. He's 2 of 3 from the line now as he moves into double figures. 16-11. Lewis Banks, Dick, as you mentioned at the top, rated as the best junior in the state of New Jersey, major Division I prospect. The scouts will be drooling and coming after him next season. Good pass. Brennan from McGhee. Brennan's first points.
Little half-court trap.
There's another good pass. Moody from Banks.
Very nice play. Banks is really impressive, not only with his ability to score, but the way he sees these players cutting and can get the ball to him.
19-13. 6-point Camden lead. 5:16 left first half. Candelino thought about it, moves a little closer. The dish to Curtis Jones. Jones follows his own shot. It is blocked. Candelino playing with the 2 fouls, and he took it out of bounds. It'll be Camden ball. It was Candelino and Donnie Walker going after it.
Again, Camden intimidating inside, getting that block.
Then Candelino will bring Chris Gatling back into the ballgame. Gatling waiting to check in. Gilliam's double team gives it up to Donnie Walker.
Smith playing in that high post position, then Banks will wander underneath. High-low situation. Camden, one is to their advantage, can slow it down.
Lewis Banks. Play it the same way.
Lucky they got that one because he exploded inside. Very nice move off that left-hand dribble by Don Walker.
Curtis Jones sits down. Gatling back. Jones did not score. Donnie Walker, his first points. Largest lead for Camden, an 8-point lead at 21-13. 3:59 left in the first half. Goodson likes that spot. Nailed 2 in a row from right there.
21-15.
McGhee just having a little trouble, like a half step behind. I'm sure that knee has something to do with it. Watch that hand.
Banks. Candelino stepped in hoping to draw the foul. No call. Look at his expression as he looks at referee Bob Pugh and pleads his case. 13 for Banks. Again, the 8-point Camden lead. McGhee from Candelino. It is taken away by Banks. And the foul call will be on Derrick McGhee. And Banks going to go to the other end and shoot 1 and 1. The Camden Panthers lost 3 in a row earlier this season. They got off to a 4-0 start and then lost 3 straight to Andrew Jackson from New York, Ben Franklin from Philadelphia, and Dobbins Tech from Philadelphia. So they were 4-3. They lost to Woodrow Wilson of Camden by 1. Woodrow Wilson earlier this weekend won the Group 3 championship here at the Meadowlands. And they also lost the ball game to Paul VI of Haddon Heights by 12.
Bill, that's the first time Camden has lost 3 in a row since 1967.
The one loss for Elizabeth to Scotch Plains. Elizabeth was 13-0 at the time. Scotch Plains having a very so-so season, and that was a major upset. Banks has them both.
You read off the schools they lost to, and that's like a who's who in basketball powers. And of course, Clarence Turner likes to do that. He thinks that helps the club when it comes down to the state championship.
10-point Camden lead, their largest lead.
That one-hand bounce pass again.
Tough long jump by Candelino. Shelton Applewhite runs down the rebound. Back out to Goodson with 2:40 left in the first half. 25-15, Panthers lead it. Pass inside for Gatling is knocked out of bounds. How they got here, Elizabeth in the North Jersey Section 2 Group 4 Championship playoffs defeated Montclair 64-61. Then they beat Plainfield 70-49. Then they defeated Barringer 66-42. State semifinal win came over Ferris 45-44. Candelino from deep, he has 8. And that state semifinal win, Dick, this past Wednesday night, a wild one, as you mentioned earlier. Elizabeth trailed by 16 in the first half, and they came back to win by 1. Donnie Walker. Kenny Smith. Stripped by Candelino. Candelino weaving his way down court. Nice pass for Goodson. 4 quick points. Candelino with a long jumper. Candelino assisting Goodson. It's 25-19. We need a stoppage of play. Some of the Elizabeth fans throwing the debris on the court, and that gives me an opportunity to tell you how Camden got here in the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs. Camden beat Cherry Hill West by 30, 90-60. Then an 18-point win over Pennsauken, 79-61. Then a victory over Cherry Hill East, 86-65 by 21. A 27-point win over Pemberton Township, 89-62. And in the state semifinals, they beat Neptune, finally a close ball game, 61-59. Nice pass from Candelino.
That was a great pass. He went up in the air, which you usually don't want to do, but he drew that defense over to the right, then dished it off to the left.
25-19. Tyrone Gilliams. Donnie Walker. Banks jump pass inside. The turnaround from Moody won't go. Gatling with the block, and the follow by Moody not there. Smith got it. Banging the offensive boards, Leonard Moody and Kenny Smith. Finally, it is Smith with the field goal. 27-19, 1:20 to play in the first half.
Ben Candelino said rebounding would be a problem. That was a good example. Camden got too many shots.
Elizabeth being deliberate here. We go under 1 minute.
Mike Goodson wanted to move that ball on the right side and attack the right side now after working the left for a while.
Candelino fires. He's got it. Anthony Candelino with 10, his 4th field goal. 27-21. Pass inside. Gatling got a hand on it, and a late whistle, and it's a travel call against Camden's Lewis Banks. 34 seconds left. Elizabeth trailed by as many as 10. They are down 6, and I believe Anthony Candelino wants the final shot of this first half. Doctor Who will not be seen tonight on New Jersey Network. We are bringing you state high school basketball. This is the boys Group 4 championship. We are late first half. Final shot time for the Minutemen from Elizabeth. They trail at 27-21. Lewis Banks with 15 points, leading Camden to this first half lead. The turnover, 3, 2, 1. Shot is off. No good. At the buzzer, Donnie Walker. So Banks with 15 for Camden. Some words exchanged. Gatling and Donnie Walker exchanging words as this first half comes to an end. 15 for Banks, 10 points for Anthony Candelino. We are at halftime. Camden in control throughout the first half. They go off with the 6-point lead. Bill Perry and Dick Lloyd at the Meadowlands. We are live. We'll be back with more right after these words. Boys, Group 4 championship. Bill Perry and Dick Lloyd at the Meadowlands Arena. We are live. Camden leading Elizabeth 27-21 at halftime for the boys Group 4 state championship. The Elizabeth cheerleaders entertaining the crowd, which I would estimate at around 6,000-7,000 here at the arena. Pat Scanlon is standing by with Meadowlands Stadium and Arena General Manager Laura Smith. And here we go to Pat.
All right, thank you very much, Bill. Laurie Smith here, the crowd into the game. Been a great 8 games here at the Meadowlands Arena in the State Basketball Championship.
Yeah, we have more fun doing this, Pat, than I guess we do doing anything because everybody does get so excited. Had 2 great days, a lot of games, 16 teams coming in, and have had almost no problems whatsoever.
Such a thrill for the high school players to be able to get onto the home court of the NBA New Jersey Nets, and we've seen some great moves.
Yeah, you watch these kids and you think maybe in a couple of years during some NCAA games we'll watch them come back here and play some college ball, and maybe one day after that we'll watch them play for the Nets. Yeah.
What a job FDU did on Michigan, losing by 4 last night. Fairleigh Dickinson, a team we see here at the Meadowlands Arena, part of your college program.
Yes, if there is such a thing as a moral victory, I guess last night they had one, and it's great for Eastern basketball. It shows us that shows the world that Eastern basketball can play with anybody.
Laurie, future plans for the high school association with the Meadowlands?
They'll be back next year, Pat. We need to take each year as a time because of NCAA tournament and which tournaments we play, but next year we have the regionals, so it allows us to have this week free next year, and we'll play them again next year.
All right, I know 2 years ago you received the tournament ball, a very prestigious honor from the NJSIAA, and we're going to go live to the presentation now. Loris, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your help in getting our broadcast together.
Thank you, Pat. My pleasure.
Okay, Bill.
Hi, Pat. Dom Malaysia with the public address announcement of the presentation of the tournament ball. Executive Director Robert Canopy from the NJSIAA will make the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, each year we've used the occasion of this halftime of the Group 4 final to make a special presentation that we like to call our tournament ball. And each year we try to award it to an individual that has distinguished himself in the annals of this tournament, as well as given of himself for many, many years to the youth of the state of New Jersey. The individual that we present this ball to this evening fits those categories very well. He holds the unique distinction of not only being an official for one of these Group 4 state final games, but he has also coached a state champion Group 4 in 1945. He has, in addition to that, served the state association and his local school district for more than 4 decades, something close to 2/3 of the 67-year history of this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present this year's tournament ball to the Director of Personnel for the Elizabeth School System, Mr. Abby West.
The biggest surprise is the shot.
All right, Abby West wins the prestigious tournament ball. Joining me now, 2 very familiar faces to Camden High School basketball fans, Milt Wagner and Kevin Walls, playing college ball at Louisville. Both gentlemen, the team is still alive in the National Invitational Tournament. Of course, you guys are banged up. You were redshirted. Milt, there was some thought that perhaps you might go hardship going to the NBA. What's that situation?
Well, I think the smart thing would be for me to come back next year because the pros will probably be questionable, my injury. So I'm coming back another year to show, that I'm fully healthy.
Okay. Kevin Walls, you had the knee problem. You underwent surgery. You've been redshirted as well. Looking forward to a good year. What do you think of the way the game's going for Camden tonight?
I think they're playing all right. I think they have to do a little bit of rebounding and executing their plays the second half in order to win. But I think they'll come out on top. They look like the better team.
Okay, Kevin Walls, Milt Wagner, two great Camden High players now playing for Louisville. Great guys. We'll be back at the Meadowlands after this.
Bill Perry and Dick Lloyd back at the Meadowlands Arena, just about set for the start of the second half. Camden leading Elizabeth 27-21 in the first half. Elizabeth actually out shooting Camden. Camden with 8 more shots. They're doing a better job on the offensive boards.
And that has been the problem this first half. Camden seems to be controlling the boards and therefore controlling the first half. Elizabeth having to rely on that outside shooting, and I think that's smart. It's a little tough to try and go inside with all that size in there if they can maintain that accuracy from the outside.
Individually, Camden being led by Lewis Banks with 15. Anthony Candelino leads Elizabeth with 10 points. Goodson has 6 for the Minutemen. Brennan and McGhee with 2 apiece, and Gatling with 1. Smith and Moody 4 apiece. Walker and Gilliams 2 apiece. For Camden, it's been the Lewis Banks show. This is a look at Anthony Candelino with the textbook J. He had 4 field goals and 2 free throws for 10 in the first half, but his Elizabeth Minutemen ball club trail it by 6, 27-21.
As we pointed out earlier, though, in the semifinals, Elizabeth was down 16, and they came back to win that one.
Over Ferris of Jersey City past Wednesday night at Rutgers. Second half tip controlled by Camden. Donnie Walker. Candelino plays him defensively. Walker on the floor with Tyrone Gilliams, number 11. Lewis Banks up front with Leonard Moody and Ken Smith. Ball is turned over by Camden. Goodson and Candelino in the backcourt for Elizabeth. Applewhite up front with Curtis Jones getting a second half start, and Derrick McGhee getting a second half start. Chris Gatling and Mike Brennan, 2 ball players who started the game for Elizabeth, not starting the second half. Ben Candelino searching for the combination. They're a little smaller now, Dick.
Looking to run that same out-of-bounds play they did the first half, in which Candelino scored that jumper.
Derrick McGhee, just his second field goal. He has 4, 27-23. 6 consecutive points for Elizabeth. Smith got bumped, and Goodson with the rebound. Candelino, pull-up jump, rims the basket. Strong rebound by Curtis Jones, and the foul call. First foul on Donnie Walker. Curtis Jones, 56% free throw shooter, 6'5" senior. His first visit to the line. Nice stroke. 27-24. It was 27-17 Camden with 1:25, 2:22 left in the first half. And Camden's been scoreless since. It's 7 straight points for Elizabeth. And it's a 3-point ball game. Donnie Walker slows it down. Gilliams being overplayed by Goodson.
Goodson's doing a great job with that pressure, putting a lot of pressure on the ball.
Smith has it stripped by Candelino. Minutemen with the chance to climb to 1 down.
As soon as the ball goes inside, Elizabeth is collapsing on it. That time it was Anthony Candelino picked up that loose ball.
Sean Turner waiting to check in for Camden. Jones' jump is short. His follow, Curtis Jones, staying with it on the offensive boards. 3 quick points for Jones, and Clarence Turner wants to talk it over. Elizabeth has come out in this second half, and they have trimmed it to a 1-point ball game. It is 27-26, 5-0 Elizabeth in this third quarter. And we played 1 minute and 47 seconds.
That's got to help Elizabeth coming out and getting that great start. As you pointed out earlier, they could have been blown out of here. They hung in there, came back, down 6, got it back now within 1. Ben Candelino in that huddle talking about keep working on that defense, keep applying that pressure. It's working for us.
Clarence Turner wanted to settle his ball club down. This earlier in the championships here at the Meadowlands, Mark Zielinski's field goal with 2 seconds left gave Rutherford High School a 60-58 win. Turnaround shot no good. Following is Lewis Banks. He has 17. Rutherford defeated Burlington City, and Zielinski with that field goal to win it. He was 1 of 8 from the floor, hit that 17-footer with 2 seconds left, his only points. That was an exciting basketball game. Inside, Shelton Applewhite.
Great pass and also great fake inside. Put that ball up, the 2 Camden defenders went right by him, and he went up strong.
And here's Applewhite. And a foul. And Applewhite may be hurt. Applewhite with the steal, took it to the hoop, and take a look.
He really got dumped there, and it looked like he might have been trying to go for that jam instead of going straight up for the layup.
Looks like he's all right. Donnie Walker with his second foul. This the final of 8 games played here at the Meadowlands, but on delayed tape tonight at 10:30, New Providence against Hoffman of South Amboy. The girls Group 1 championship game, that's tonight at 10:30, and then tomorrow at 3, Sparta and Middle Township, a girls Group 2 championship game. But we wrap it up after this ball game. Applewhite goes out of the ball game. Mike Brennan comes in and he will shoot the free throws. Brennan, a 64% free throw shooter. Brennan started the ball game, his first trip to the line. He has 2 points tonight. Gatling is going to come back in for Elizabeth. He started the ball game. Mike Brennan did not start the second half. Gatling replaces Curtis Jones. This to tie it. It is 29-28 Camden, 5:26 left, third quarter. And we are tied at 29. First tie of the ball game. And the turnover, here's Goodson. Rejected by Sean Mosby.
Great timing by Mosby that time. Clarence Turner said that he's got to have a great game coming off the bench for us.
Sean Mosby, a 6'8 senior, Seton Hall, Rutgers, Ryder, and Delaware recruiting Mosby. The jump from Derrick McGhee, and Elizabeth with the lead. Elizabeth 31-29, their first 2-point lead. We have a whistle from Joe Vigna.
Like Derrick McGhee picked up a foul.
Yes, sir.
Third foul on Derrick McGhee, and he will go to the bench. Take a look at the block. Mosby rejecting Goodson. We come back live. 31-29 Elizabeth. A little bit of a force that time from Banks, and Goodson with the rebound. Goodson being hounded by Tyrone Gilliams. Dished it off to Gatling, but the foul will go against Gilliams. Goodson went around him, and before the pass-off, that'll be the 4th team foul against Camden.
Those two guys, go ahead, Bill.
2nd foul on Tyrone Gilliam.
Those two guys really got it gone, too, both on offense and defense. They're playing each other nose to nose, really playing it tough. Mike Goodson, Tyrone Gilliam.
And Clarence Turner once again wants to talk it over. Camden looking for their 3rd title in the last 4 years. Clarence Turner in his 14th year at Camden looking for his 6th state championship. And overall the school in a tournament final for a 13th time, looking for championship number 9, the traditional power in New Jersey high school basketball, the Camden Panthers. And there is P.J. Carlissimo, the coach of Seton Hall. You saw Sean Mosby make that outstanding block earlier, and as I mentioned, P.J. and Seton Hall recruiting Mosby, as is Delaware, Ryder, and Rutgers. We listen in to Ben Candelino, coach of Elizabeth, his ball club with the 2-point lead.
Wait, timeout's over. Wait, let's go. Come on, Derrick. I know you won. Come on. 4 years.
It has been a 12-2 Elizabeth run since late in the first half when the Minutemen trailed by 8. And they now have the 2-point lead. Candelino to Goodson. Derrick McGhee is back for Elizabeth. This is Shelton Applewhite. Strong move to the hoop. Just would not drop. Gatling loose on the floor. Still loose. And Mosby came up with it. Banks. Nice spin. Runner. Gilliam's little guy follows. The foul's going to be against Gatling.
Makes it tough. Banks went in there, made that whirl move. I think he's a little bit off balance, and he fired that shot up. But Gilliam is right under there. Took that rebound really away from Chris Gatling. Gatling tried to hold his ground with his hands up, but got the foul.
First on Gatling. 2nd team foul on Elizabeth.
Here comes this little bit of a whirl there, but he didn't pick it up. He was off, threw it. Gilliam's hands are straight up.
Tyrone at the line. His first visit. He has 3 points. He can tie it up for the Panthers with this one. He is short, and the lane violation
by the shooter, I believe.
Yes, on Gilliams.
Shooter has to hold till the ball hits the rim. A little too anxious. Broke that plane.
That boys Group 2 championship, Rutherford winning at the 2 seconds left on the Mark Zielinski shot. That one went right down to the wire, and we may have this ball game going right down to the wire as well. No foul call as Applewhite pumped, went inside. The players now fighting for early position on the jump ball situation, but no foul call as Applewhite tried to hang in the air and draw the contact.
Must be something magic about that spot. Everybody wanted it.
Donnie Walker and Applewhite will jump. Bob Pugh will toss the basketball. Controlled by Applewhite to Candelino. Midway through the 3rd quarter, 4 minutes left. 31-30 Elizabeth. They trail by as many as 10. Candelino, nice pass to Gatling. It is blocked. But the foul call, I believe it's going to go against Sean Mosby.
And Elizabeth doing a great job of penetrating inside and then dumping it off as the help comes. Here's a picture here. He's right in the paint, dishes it off to Chris Gatling.
And the foul goes against Banks, the man under the basket, 2nd on Lewis Banks. So here's Gatling at the line. He has 1 point tonight on 1 of 2 free throws. 6'6" junior. Minutemen by 2, 32-30. 3:40 left 3rd quarter. Candelino knocks it out of bounds to pass up ahead for Lewis Banks. I got a feeling that Candelino will cover a lot of ground in center field.
Well, and he's back there in that press. You put a smaller, quicker guy back there so he can go side to side. Good move.
Again, Candelino will concentrate on baseball in college. Miami, LSU, Mississippi State interested in him. The foul call, Gatling hammered Kenny Smith. Second foul on Gatling, and Smith will go to the line. A look at Ben Candelino in his second year at Elizabeth in Union County. Record of 48-4. 25-1 this year. They won 13 in a row. They lost. They'd like to win another 13 in a row and walk away with the state championship. Smith with 5 points, 3 of 5 from the line. And he makes them both. Look at Clarence Turner. Knotted at 32. 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third. Candelino, the penetration goes back out to Mike Goodson. Camden playing that man-to-man defense. Derrick McGhee, nice pass inside for Shelton Applewhite. Gatling has it knocked away. And I'll tell you, Applewhite did not get the foul call last time. He's only 6'1", but he will go inside and look to make any kind of move to throw it up and draw the foul.
Well, he's determined. After he missed the first one on the right side, he picked that ball off the floor on the left side. He was going to get that foul.
Mosby picked up his second foul, and he will go to the bench. Here's Applewhite, just a 42% free throw shooter. He will be at the line.
Elizabeth able to get in their game now, Bill, on that against that man-to-man defense. They're getting a lot of good penetration into that paint and then dishing it off, looking for those cutters off the ball going back door.
Curtis Jones back for Chris Gatling for the Minutemen. Applewhite, 6'1" senior. Minutemen by 1, 33-32. Gilliams all the way, and it will be an offensive foul on Tyrone Gilliams. Third foul on Gilliams. On the offensive foul, it is a non-shooting foul, although Camden is over the limit. Derrick McGhee dishes off Curtis Jones, and he is fouled by Leonard Moody. So Jones will go to the line.
Another example of Elizabeth beating that press and getting the 3-on-2 situation. A little bit of contact there on the arm. Good call.
Number 2 on Moody, 6'5" junior center. Curtis Jones, 1 of 2 from the line thus far in the ballgame. 2 of 3, 34-32. Elizabeth looking for its largest lead with this free throw. Curtis Jones, a 6'5" senior, and he is short. Panthers looking to tie. 2:35 left. Donnie Walker. Candelino plays him. Pass inside for Kenny Smith. His turnaround, and we are tied.
Tough move. He was pretty far out from the basket for him. Turn around and stuck it.
8 for Kenny Smith. Derrick McGhee. 34 all. Mike Goodson outside. Scoop by McGhee. Follow by Jones.
Sample again of Elizabeth got the ball into the paint.
Backdoor pass to Donnie Walker. A good pass from Smith, but here comes Mike Goodson. He's got Candelino. Back to Goodson. Maybe one pass too many as Smith with the block, and Banks comes away with it. Banks. And an offensive foul on Banks. It'll be foul number 3 on Lewis Banks. Giving up the body, Derrick McGhee.
Derrick McGhee got to be a little careful with those bad knees stepping in to draw that charge.
He was there very early. He knew he was going to be hammered. He just stood his ground. Watch.
He anticipated.
On the pass-off. Third on Banks. 1:30 to play. Third quarter. 36-34 Elizabeth. Candelino open. Rolls out. There was a nice pass from Applewhite. Jones miss. And Banks with the rebound for Camden. Donnie Walker.
Elizabeth doing a little bit better job on the boards now.
Third foul on Candelino. Blocking foul. He picked up too early, you'll remember. That's his first since. Elizabeth now over the limit. One-on-one both ways for the duration.
Anthony Candelino a little concerned about that. He thought that left arm.
Yeah.
That's a tough call.
Gatling back for Ben Candelino. Curtis Jones sits down. Again, Anthony Candelino is Ben Candelino's younger brother, and that was the 4th foul on Elizabeth. So on the next foul, Camden will shoot 1-1. Banks trying to look inside. Banks has it back. Applewhite got a hand on it. Banks stops in the lane, and he has 19 points.
Lewis Banks was looking for Kenny Smith inside. He had gotten good position again before that ball was bobbled, but Banks came right back with it.
36 all. Final shot time for Elizabeth. Camden led by 6 at the half. We are 36 all. 36 seconds left. 19 for Lewis Banks. Anthony Candelino shut out in the third quarter, leading Elizabeth with 10 points. This, the final game of 8 played here at the Meadowlands Arena. It all began yesterday afternoon at 5 o'clock, and we were here live yesterday at 5 as Burlington Township won the boys Group 1 state championship. We still have 2 games to show you on New Jersey Network on delayed tape. 1 second left. They get it off, and it is good by Derrick McGhee. Not exactly the way you diagram it, but Ben Candelino will take it. Derrick McGhee now with 8 points, and it's 38-36. Elizabeth leads it after 3.
I'll tell you, Bill, Mike Goodson makes some great moves off of that.
Elizabeth with the 2-point lead after 3 off the Derrick McGhee buzzer beater. McGhee now with 8 points, and he fired from long range. Seen this a number of times in the championship. Cheerleader knew it all the time.
And of course, it was Mike Goodson's move inside. He really is tough off that dribble.
So Camden with the possession as the fourth quarter is underway. Tyrone Gilliams back out to Donnie Walker. Gilliams trying to penetrate. Smith, a lot of ball, but the foul call is going to go against Shelton Applewhite. Elizabeth over the limit.
Kenny Smith tough inside. He gets that good position. When he misses the first one, he's ready to go right up again, but there was a foul called before that. Already had another 2.
Smith with 8 points. He has hit his last 3 free throws and 5 of 7 in the ball game. Doing a nice job from the line. Drops for Leonard Moody. He has 6 points on 3 field goals. A 3-point play the other way for Camden, and they are now in the lead by 1, 39-38. We are 40 seconds into the fourth quarter. Shelton Applewhite. And losing it out of bounds is Curtis Jones. In the third quarter, Elizabeth outscored Camden 17-9. They were down 6 at the half. Came away up 2 after 3. But the three-point play for Camden, a free throw by Smith, a missed free throw, and a Moody field goal. And it's Camden by 1, but here's Candelino. Off the turnover, he wheels inside. His shot is short, follows his own miss, and he will wisely bring it back out to Mike Goodson. I think Elizabeth perhaps forcing it a little too much inside, but right there, Applewhite with the field goal. He has 5. It's 40-39 Elizabeth.
And he did a great job, Bill. He was behind the backboard. He came up, did not show the ball until he got his body out and had some protection, then brought that ball up to score.
Tyrone Gilliams from 16 feet. Way off. He looks to save. And he did get it in bounds, but Derrick McGhee comes away for Elizabeth.
A little tough, too. Anthony Candelino put a lot of pressure on that shot for a guy with as many fouls as he has. He has to be a little more careful.
That's where McGhee hit at the end of the third quarter. Pretty move going with the left hand. Shelton Applewhite. Again, we have the stoppage of play as some Elizabeth fans throw the streamers or debris onto the floor. Chris Gatling is going to check back in for Elizabeth. Clarence Turner goes over to referee Bob Pugh and wants an announcement made, and he's going to get an announcement from PA man Don Malaysia regarding the throwing of debris on the floor.
What a great move here. Watch him. He gets good position there. Comes in. Watch the way he uses the left hand so he protects with his right very well. 2 good moves in a row by Shelton Applewhite.
Clarence Turner wants an announcement asking the fans to refrain from throwing things onto the court. Saw Les Unger from the Meadowlands officiating in the middle of that discussion. It'll drop. Sean Mosby, his first points. 42-41. Elizabeth with the 1-point lead.
Camden running their inside game now. They're looking inside, putting 3 people. Person on each block, person on the high post, rotating him, trying to drop the ball inside.
McGhee being played by Banks. Applewhite goes to Goodson. Back to Applewhite. Here's Gatling. And Gatling draws the foul. Sean Mosby. And that'll be his 3rd.
Chris Gatling doesn't quite realize it yet that he's the one that drew that foul.
He will go to the line, shoot the 1-and-1. Chris has 2 points tonight on 2 of 4 from the line.
He's still not sure what's happening.
5:12 left. Rebound by Applewhite off the miss. Applewhite wheels inside, count the basket and the foul. Shelton Applewhite has been the story on the offensive boards. Only 6'1", and he's going inside against Moody 6'5", Smith 6'6", Banks 6'7". And Applewhite repeatedly doing the job on the offensive boards.
It's a missed foul shot by Chris Gatling. He gets way out in the corner, but he goes inside. This is the 3rd straight move. Went up strong. They got a piece of the ball in his arm, but he converted that. Now we'll go to the line for that 3-point play.
4th foul on Mosby. He's 6'8". And little Shelton Applewhite looking to complete the 3-point play. He is long. Ball is loose. And a whistle.
Shelton Applewhite, Bill, of course, getting the starting nod with Derrick McGhee having the bad knees, and then when Derrick comes in, Shelton staying in there, and we can see why. That was 3 straight moves for him inside.
To pick up who the foul was on, Dick?
Yes, I think it was on Chris Gatling.
All right, so it's 3 on Gatling. And Moody will shoot 1-and-1. Elizabeth leading by 3. Foul on Chris Gatling, his 3rd. First trip to the line from Moody. He has 3 field goals. Rolls off. Rebound to Applewhite.
Who got that rebound? Applewhite.
I think he plays a big 6'1". Candelino out for Goodson.
Nice soft lefty there by Chris Gatling. Went down the lane and threw up that left hook. Nice play.
His first field goal. Largest lead for Elizabeth. They are up 5. Kenny Smith inside. He's got it. Muscle move. He ran over Derrick McGhee.
And Derrick McGhee looks like the knee may have gone out because he is limping.
Goodson, Gatling, count it. Goodson just stopped at the free throw line, surveyed the situation, and Gatling, who was without a field goal until 25 seconds ago, has scored 2 consecutive field goals for Elizabeth.
And Elizabeth seems to be alternating players. First it was Applewhite with 3 straight plays, and here of the pass off Mike Goodson. Great lefty layup by Chris Gatling. And that's 2 straight for Chris Gatling.
Foul was against Leonard Moody, I believe his 3rd. Gatling not able to complete the 3-point play, and we have another foul call. Fouls on Applewhite, his 3rd. So not too much time is moving off the clock as the fouls are piling up. 4:21 left. It's Elizabeth by 5. Kenny Smith with 11 points. Shoots the 1-and-1. 6'6" senior. He missed it.
And the rebound again. Shelton Applewhite.
Candelino and Goodson, the guards for Elizabeth. And now they may try to run some time off the clock. We approach the 4-minute mark.
Looks like the 4 went up. That could mean 4, like in 4 corners.
Derrick McGhee and Goodson. This is Chris Gatling.
A little shaky with Gatling with the ball. Like to see it in Goodson's hand.
Goodson to McGhee. Back to Mike Goodson. Derrick McGhee. Back out to Anthony Candelino. He is doubled. They have taken 30 seconds off the clock. And 5-second call on Candelino as he was harassed by Tyrone Gillian. 3:36 left. Sean Turner will inbound to our immediate right as you look at Ben Candelino. Donnie Walker. Candelino plays Walker.
Lewis Banks looking to post in. They're looking to go to him.
Here's Banks. Little strong. Strong rebound and field goal. Kenny Smith has 13 points.
Yeah, talk about strong. That was a strong rebound. He came in there with determination to get that and went right back up with the same determination.
48-45 Minutemen. We approach the 3-minute mark. Candelino and Goodson exchange. Derrick McGhee takes it into the paint. His bounce for Gatling off his hands. 2:58 to play. Elizabeth by 3. Gatling being hounded by Smith. Gatling to Applewhite. Off Applewhite's hands. Here's Banks. Banks running. Banks has it knocked away from behind by Applewhite, and the foul will be against Shelton Applewhite. That will be his 4th. And Lewis Banks is going to go to the free throw line, and he is 5 of 6 from the line. 19 points. And Ben Candelino wants a timeout. He wants to talk things over with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left. When we come back from this timeout, Camden will be at the free throw line with the opportunity to climb to 1 down. Boys, Group 4 championship basketball.
What's being done to save?
Opportunity to get to the free throw line. Lewis Banks.
And then a bad play really by Shelton Applewhite reaching in there to pick up that foul.
So Banks will shoot 1 plus the bonus with 2:43 to play. His ball club trails by 3. He is short, and Candelino steps in for the long rebound. Basic fundamentals. Cut the shooter, and the ball wound up in his hands. Derrick McGhee. To Candelino with 2.5 to play. Open is Applewhite. Count it and a foul. And Kenny Smith got a hand on the ball. It still went through for Applewhite. Third foul on Kenny Smith. Shelton Applewhite will go to the line and try to complete the three-point play. Again, Elizabeth with its largest lead, a 5-point lead.
What was interesting about that play, Bill, was the last time down when Elizabeth threw that ball away. The same spot was open. But here, Anthony Candelino, look at, he's wide open on the block there. Candelino throws it to Applewhite. He goes up strong.
Applewhite, who did not play in the state semifinal win over Ferris of Jersey City, completes the three-point play. He now has 12 points. He averages under 5 per game. 51-45, Elizabeth with its largest lead. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in this boys Group 4 championship. Camden led by as many as 10 in the first half. And Elizabeth with a 16-point swing. They now lead it by 6. Ben Candelino looking for the first state title for the Elizabeth Minutemen since 1954. Smith banging on the offensive boards, counts it, and a foul on Derrick McGhee. Big, huge play by Kenny Smith. 3-point play opportunity. He can cut that 6-point lead in half. 15 points for Smith.
Bill, he's keeping Camden in it there. That's the second time he's done that. He hangs around that basket, gets a strong rebound, going out very strong. Could be the three-pointer.
And McGhee did reach and slap. There it is. Completion of the three-point play. Clarence Turner looking for back-to-back Group 4 state championships for Camden. 2 minutes left, 51-48.
Elizabeth done a nice job against the press. The ball gets into that first player. He does not put it on the floor. He turns and looks, sees where the defense is.
And the foul call on Tyrone Gilliams, his fourth. Candelino will go to the free throw line. Well, Dick, the 2 boys championship games we have televised live today. Starting with that boys Group 2 game at 3 o'clock this afternoon when Rutherford beat Burlington City on Mark Zielinski's jumper with 2 seconds left. And now this ball game, 2 absolute beauties. Camden takes a timeout with 1:50 left. And still to come on New Jersey Network on tape delay coming up at approximately 10:30 tonight, or a half hour after this ball game ends. We will have New Providence against Hoffman of South Amboy. That ball game played at 11 o'clock this morning at the Meadowlands for the girls Group 1 championship. New Providence and Hoffman. Then tomorrow at 3, Sparta and Middle Township from Cape May. The girls Group 2 championship played earlier today at the Meadowlands. Pat Scanlon and Carol Blazejowski calling those 2 basketball games.
He's telling him to shoot it right there. Shoot it up. Chris, that's you. You got the sliver. You're behind Shepard. Don't chase him out in the corner. That was bad. Good cut. If 41's here, the ball goes in the corner. Don't you go to the corner. You say he's running 41. Chris, you go behind 41. You run up the back over here. Okay? Let's go. Come on, get in. Come on, baby. Defense, man. Defense. Let's go.
Turner looking for his 6th state championship in his 14th year as head coach at Camden. His ball club trails it by 3 with 1:50 left. Anthony Candelino, 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight. He is scoreless in the second half after scoring 10 in the first half. Big miss. Lewis Banks back the other way. Camden last led at 39-38 early in the 4th quarter, and they turn it over with 1:35 left. Wide open is Applewhite from McGhee, and he is hammered by number 21, Donnie Walker. So Applewhite will go to the line and shoot 2.
Well,
he was all alone.
Wide open there. That same spot again, and the press seems to be open all the time. There's the steal coming up there.
Good look up ahead by McGhee.
Derrick McGhee sees it. He made a nice quick move on that pass, didn't he, Derrick, there?
3rd foul on Donnie Walker. Applewhite. 2 of 4 from the line. He now has 13 points. Big free throws for Applewhite. 53-48, taking it to the hole, Tyrone Gilliams, and the foul on Mike Goodson. So Gilliams, 1 of 2 from the line.
Mike Goodson, his
second foul on Goodson. Gilliams, 6'2" senior, being recruited by George Washington, Rhode Island, UMass, and Northeastern. Camden from the free throw line, 12 of 20 in this ball game. These are big for Tyrone Gilliams and the Camden Panthers.
What's interesting about both teams have the ability to slow it up when they want to be a little more deliberate, but also can get that ball down, get it up pretty quickly without much time going off the clock, and that's crucial right now for Camden.
1 of 2, 4-point difference. McGhee with it with 1:24 to play.
Shelton Applewhite with that rebound. He went up strong.
Gatling is fouled from behind. Gatling will go to the line and shoot 2. Walker helps him up. Walker giving the foul there, of course, rather than the layup. Fourth foul on Donnie Walker. Gatling just 2 of 5 from the foul line.
Has not been strong off the line.
52% free throw shooter on the season. Rolls out, and Applewhite went for it, knocked it up over the top. It was a 2-shot foul call. Gatling was taking it to the hoop.
I think it was 2 shots also because it was intentional.
Right. One of 2 for Gatling. He has 7. 54-49.
How quickly Camden can get it up.
Walker, quickly.
Pretty quick.
He has 4, just his second field goal. 3-point ball game. We approach the 1-minute mark. Derrick McGhee weaves through traffic. Back out to Candelino. This is Derrick McGhee. And this is Candelino. Back out to Mike Goodson. McGhee is fouled, and McGhee will go to the line. An 81% free throw shooter. Derrick McGhee. Tyrone Gilliams has fouled out. Gilliams goes to the bench, the 6'2" senior, with a total of 4 points in the ball game. McGhee with 8 points in the game, making his first trip to the line. Anthony Candelino, touch of class, went all the way down to the Camden bench and shook the hand of Tyrone Gilliams. They've been matched up man-on-man tonight. That was a nice gesture. Clarence Turner's club down by 3 with 48 seconds left. Clarence will think it over before going to Sean Turner. So there's Tyrone Gilliams, the 6'2" senior. Fouls out with 4 points. Sean Turner, 6'2" junior, back in the ball game for the Panthers. 1-1 for Derrick McGhee, headed for Virginia Commonwealth on a basketball grant, playing with some ligament damage in his left knee. Did not start. Been coming off the bench since the knee problems. He now has 9, leading scorer for Elizabeth at just under 17 points per game. And this is big because it means 3 possessions, and now it's a 4-point lead, so only 2 possessions for Camden to tie the ball game. Walker is stripped by Candelino, who saves it, but here is Turner. Walker, short. Banks goes up over the back. Kenny Smith got it. 2-point ball game. Kenny Smith with 18 points. Camden wants the timeout, and they get it. The timeout recognized. There will be a timeout. A foul. Okay, no timeout.
Foul Lewis Banks.
Camden wanted the timeout, but it was not recognized by the officials.
Bill, I didn't see the players. I did see Clarence Turner calling for the timeout. I don't know whether any players were calling for it.
I believe a player right in front of us was calling for a timeout. Meanwhile, here it's Goodson at the line. His first trip, he's a 71% free throw shooter. He missed it. A chance for Camden to tie. 25 seconds left. Lewis Banks has it knocked away by Derrick McGhee, the defensive play of the ball game. Here's McGhee, goes to Gatling, and he scores, and a foul. End to end, Derrick McGhee made a sensational block on Lewis Banks, and then fed Chris Gatling. Lewis Banks with 19 points, the high scorer for Camden, with 25 seconds left, took the ball to the hole and the opportunity to tie the ball game. But a quick swing as with the steal as Derrick McGhee stripped him and then came down and fed Chris Gatling. And Camden wants a timeout. And after the timeout, Gatling will be at the line to try to complete the three-point play. Just a sensational sequence by Derrick McGhee. And after the steal, he did not slow it down. He hurried it down the floor and saw his teammate and made the pass. So it is 57 to 53 with 16 seconds left. Camden had the opportunity to tie it.
Don't worry about it, okay?
Clarence says, don't worry about it, okay? There's still time. Let's listen.
Foul 22. Foul 22 right away. I don't care if you're making an intentional foul. Don't do anything malicious, okay? Now, go for the ball. Go for the ball. Not everybody. All right? Now get this rebound and come down quick and put it in. All right? We have no more timeouts, okay? Everybody go.
No more timeouts for Camden. 16 seconds. Clarence Turner says foul number 22, Chris Gatling.
Even if it's intentional, but don't do anything malicious.
What he's saying is we got to get the foul. We can't waste any time. Get that foul, stop the clock, put Gatling to the line. Let's hope he misses. We get it down, get it up as quickly as we can.
Not having a timeout could hurt him here. Clock continues to run after a basket. Even if Camden were to score, the clock will continue to run. Gatling is short. Leonard Moody, and here comes Donnie Walker. Donnie Walker is a little long. 8 seconds. Ball is loose, goes out of bounds. It's Elizabeth's ball.
McGee's down, but trying to get up.
Derrick McGhee went down hard on that left knee. He's going to hobble over, and he will trigger it in with 6 seconds left.
Oh, yes.
Long for Shelton Applewhite. And he is fouled by Leonard Moody with 5 seconds left. Shelton Applewhite has done a tremendous job on the offensive boards. Applewhite has 14 points in this ball game, and the Elizabeth Minutemen are about to win their first state championship since 1954. None of these kids were born then.
Derrick McGhee's hurting in one sense, but feeling pretty good in another sense.
15 for Applewhite, and here's the countdown. Elizabeth won 13 ball games to start this season. Then they lost to a rather mediocre Scotch Plains Ball Club. They've come back from that to win 13 more in a row. They run their record to 26-1, and they win the state championship. Shelton Applewhite with 15 points. Anthony Candelino with 10. Chris Gatling with 9. Derrick McGhee with 9, Mike Goodson with 6, and Mike Brennan with 3. Curtis Jones had 6 points for the winners. For Camden, 19 points for Lewis Banks, 18 points for Kenny Smith. Leonard Moody had 6, 4 for Tyrone Gilliams, 4 for Donnie Walker, and 2 for Sean Mosby. There are still 2 games to come here on New Jersey Network on tape delay. Coming up in a half hour, a girls' championship game. Then tomorrow at 3 o'clock, Sparta and Middle Township, the girls' Group 2 championship game. Coming up in a half hour, the girls' Group 1 game, New Providence and Hoffman. This is Bill Perry. Dick Lloyd's been working with me. Pat Scanlon and Carol Blazejowski will bring you those 2 girls' games on delayed tape. Dick and I will be back to wrap it up for you right after these words. So the 8th champion has been crowned in the state high school championships. Ben Candelino receiving the trophy for the boys Group 4 championship as the Elizabeth Minutemen have won the title. And here comes the announcement for the game's most valuable player. Elizabeth wins it 58 to 53.
In the final quarter, 7 rebounds. Shelton Applewhite.
Shelton Applewhite, the 6'1" senior who did a sensational job inside on the offensive boards against the much larger Camden Panthers. Shelton Applewhite, who finished with 15 points. He wins the game's most valuable player award. Elizabeth with the 58 to 53 victory over the Camden Panthers. All right. I'm getting the proverbial wrapped pew from the truck, but for the first time this weekend, I'm going to ignore you guys in the truck, and here's why. You deserve a lot of credit, and I have to thank a lot of people. We do have time, all right, for Ben Candelino to step in here. Coach, congratulations. In just your 2nd season, you win a state championship, and you beat all that tradition in Camden.
True, we really did. It was a great win for Elizabeth. The kids, of course, our basketball program. Hopefully in a few years people compare us to Camden. They're a super team. We played a good second half to beat them, but you know, we earned everything we got today.
And what a great team effort for a guy like Applewhite, who isn't even a starter, to get the most valuable player. Catlin, they all played so great.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that before the game. I said Applewhite's only started the past 2 games, and he's been really doing a super job for us on the boards. Today he just rebounded well and scored off the board.
I think he plays a big 6'1".
He sure does, doesn't he? He got a lot of rebounds, scores big rebounds, big baskets.
All right, Ben Candelino, state champions in Group 4. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, to put such an effort together for you here on New Jersey Network has taken an inordinate amount of work in a very short period of time. And when you try to thank a lot of people, you always go home and kick yourself at about route, 11 or 10 on the turnpike because you forget about somebody. I'm going to try my best not to forget about anybody. First of all, Dick Lloyd, it's been a pleasure working with you, calling 5 basketball games. The other announced team, Pat Scanlon and Carol Blazejowski, still